Paul Burstrom.
Jim Guido, Beaver Dam Community.
George Lycan, South Asheville.
Lisa Stevens, South Asheville.
Lori Camerata, Beaver Dam.
Anthony Goodson.
And Josh, I think this is your first time as the new zoning administrator. Is that right?
Yes, sir. In a second, I'll get up and pass everybody my card so that everybody has my contact information, but I'd just like to say it's a pleasure to get to work with the Board of Adjustment. I've been with Buncombe County in the planning department since August of 2007. I just recently returned from a tour in Iraq, so I'm looking forward to taking over these new beauties.
Well, we hope we aren't as tough as the people over there, but only time will tell. Well, thank you. We're happy to have you with us. You've all received a copy of the minutes of March 9th meeting. Are there any corrections? Hearing none, the minutes will stand as submitted. If you're going to speak today, you'll have to be sworn in. So at this time, if you'll come forward, if you're going to speak, put a hand on the Bible. If there's not enough room, put your left hand there, and then put your left hand on one of the person's shoulder standing next to you. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. Be seated. Okay, Josh, you're on. What have you for us today?
All right, the first case is for applicant Kyle Gilliland with Set Cell Development. The case number is ZPH 2011-00057. Property address is 6 Oak Spring Drive. It's in the R1 residential district. The applicant's asking for a reduction in the front yard setback from 20 feet to 10 and a reduction in the rear yard setback from 20 feet to 10.
All right. Is there someone going to speak for the applicant? And what is your name, please?
Kyle Gilliland.
Okay. You can sit down. That's fine.
We previously built houses on either side of this lot last year and the year before. And the biggest issue with this one was there was a huge oak tree in the middle of the subdivision, and before the zoning was done, was when the subdivision was done. So the road goes around the oak tree, and that's the reason for the setback. Like the house itself won't sit any further close, in a line to either house on either side of it. It'll sit in about the same plane, but it just needs to sit further back to get around this curve where the large oak tree was.
Right, and there's no other possible solution?
Well, I mean, the sewer and everything could come up. I mean, if you brought it gets into the easement of the water and sewer at the front of the lot. So we've got 41 feet front to back with the variance. I mean, without the variance, you've only got 21 feet front to back to build a house. And with the 40, this would give 41 feet front to back to build a house, which isn't unreasonable. I mean, as far as house plans go.
What is the there's a large property that is, I believe it's to the east of you.
Uh-huh.
What is that?
It's a guy, he just has a long strip of property, and at the very front, it's single family residential. At the very front, he's got a house.
Has he or anyone objected?
We've had no concern expressed from the community for this project.
I see the bowl, but there's kind of like a roundabout in the middle where the oak tree was. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Is the tree still there?
The tree died last year, but they've been replanted in the front, but still the water and sewer are still where they are because of what was done.
I don't have a big problem with this, but do you have a rendering of how it looks on the lot, other than what we've gotten?
I've got the plat that was submitted.
You should have a copy of the plat, George.
Oh, okay. This is, you've made it a modified L-shaped house
Correct,
to even meet this lot.
correct.
Yeah, I see that.
Any other comments or questions? Is there anyone else going to speak for this? Can you come forward, please?
Hello, I'm Jennifer Degman, and I live at 10 Oak Springs Drive, right next to the lot where Kyle will hopefully be building very soon. I can say I'm here on behalf of our community, and I have had no objections from, or heard any objections from any of the neighbors pertaining to this, and we're all actually really looking forward. This is a beautiful plan, and we would like to see this house finish off our neighborhood.
So you've gone and talked to the neighbors then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So what we're hearing,
What was your name? I'm Jennifer Degman, D-E-G-M-A-N. Thank you.
okay, any questions for Jennifer? Is there anyone else here to speak for this, for or against this project?
Hi, I'm Kevin Kerr. I was the original owner of this property, and I also designed the development with, and was actually designed it with Chris Eller here, with and designed the road shape as it is. So you can see our design intent where it encroached on this lot to create this larger green space, and it actually creates a nice green hub in the middle of this development, which Jennifer and the other neighbors have really taken good care of it, and it's a really nice growing little neighborhood. So if I'm here for any questions. Also, from the original design, I'd like to add one more thing. We did come 2 years ago to get a variance on this lot with a box or a proposed plan, of which was approved at the time. We did not build that one, but this house is tenfold better design, better, fits better on the lot, and will add much more to the neighborhood.
Was the zoning in place in the county when you designed the subdivision?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. When it was presented, yeah. All right, any questions for comments for him? Anyone else to speak? All right, I shall close the public hearing at this time. Oh, and Mr. Kyle, do you attest that everything you submitted here is true and absolutely correct?
Yes.
You get? Okay, any other
Discussion?
Okay.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we,
George is actually our non-voting member.
oh,
Sorry, George.
Okay.
I'm
He's our
okay with it.
backup, so.
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the variance on the setbacks on the lot.
I second it.
All right, we have a motion to approve this, and would you like to go back to the findings
Sure.
of the fact?
Sure. Mr. Chair, based upon the evidence presented to this board, including the following exhibits: the petitioner's application, the submitted development plan, the GIS maps, and the finding of facts worksheet, I move that this board adopt the following findings of facts, items 1 through 6G. G? Yeah.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion on the finding of fact?
second.
A second.
Okay. Is there further discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this variance. I need to have a vote now. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Let the minutes show that there was unanimous vote to support.
Okay. Next.
Okay? Go Bill.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Stays.
Okay, Josh, what do we got next?
All right, the next applicant is Chris Eller. This is for case number ZPH 2011-00058. The subject property is 126 Lower Grassy Branch Road. The zoning district is R1 residential. They're asking for a reduction in setbacks on the side from the required 10 feet to 3 feet, and on the rear from the required 10 feet to 3 feet. This is to build a detached garage on the property. And I'll also, at this time, submit a statement from Cynthia Barclow, the county's floodplain ordinance administrator, about the property's position to the floodplain, because we did have some concern expressed by a member of the community. On October 1st, 2009, FEMA officially removed the lot at 126 Lower Grassy Branch Road from the 100-year floodplain. This was based on a letter of map revision based on fill, and it was included as a letter of map change. This was revalidated through the state's map change process. The lot remains completely within an X zone outside the 100-year floodplain. The development of this lot would not be regulated under the county's flood damage prevention ordinance.
So to be absolutely clear, then, they're meeting all of the parts of the ordinance and the floodplain requirements, except for the variances they're asking for today. Correct. Okay. All right, who's going to speak for the project?
Chris Eller. Actually, the developer of the project and the engineer of record as well. So the property is lot number 10 of a 10-lot subdivision we did on the corner of Lower Grassy Branch and Old Farm School Road. There's a copy of the original plat that was recorded, and you'll note that actually surrounding the properties there's a perimeter sliver of land that was carved off and is now in the common land. So all 10 property owners own 1/10 of that. That common land actually surrounds this lot 10 that I'm requesting the variance on. And so technically we are within or beyond 10 feet. We can meet the setback from the overall common land. The issue became this lot specific. So if you'll note on the sketch and bulletin drawing, we show that the 10-foot offset from the common land is obtained, and we're just looking for the 3-foot reduction to be able to meet building code for the garage.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page.
Please address your remarks to here.
Well, this subdivision was done prior to zoning
Pardon. Okay.
in place as well.
Did you consider any other solutions to this problem?
Yes, the options is just not having a garage, but this lot has actually sold, and the buyer has wanted a garage to be placed. We placed a garage on one of the other units prior to the zoning being requested, and so a variance wasn't required because the setbacks wasn't an issue on that one. But
Okay, so it's similar to the at least one other property in the neighborhood.
that is correct.
So the garage, the main structure doesn't need any treatment.
It
It's
does
just,
not.
if they're gonna put a garage in, you have to have it.
Exactly right.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Eller? All right, is there anyone else to speak for or against this project? Please come forward.
My name is Brenda Hester, and I'm a homeowner on Lower Grassy Branch. And I'm also speaking on behalf of two of my neighbors that couldn't be here. And I think we have concerns and questions, mostly, that concern this lot and the construction of it, how close it is to the creek, how close it will be to the road in terms of safety. And I'm assuming this is a one-car garage. The residents that do have driveways right there facing in the same direction, their driveways are very short, and traffic coming and going on Lower Grassy can be kind of treacherous. And this is in a just a bit of a slight curve. We were wanting to know too, are you moving the telephone pole that's there? Okay. And yeah, the concerns about the creek environmentally.
Ma'am, if you could please address your comments to the board. Thank you.
Okay.
So are you saying there's a visibility issue?
I think there is somewhat.
Could you expound on that a little bit?
Well, like I was saying, the other houses that have driveways are very short, and they don't have much room. They have to back out, essentially, if they're in their drive.
Okay.
They have no room to turn around to head out of their drive. And this area looks like it's very much like that.
Okay.
And I don't know if it would involve anything to do with the sewer.
But in your opinion, would the drawing I'm looking at, the driveway be very similar to the other
That's correct.
buildings in the, there's not much difference. I guess I'm missing your point here.
A safety concern for folks having to back out of their driveways onto Lower Grassy Branch Road because they don't have room to turn to face out.
Is the house already there?
Yes, it is.
But
The driveway's already there. Okay.
But what we're hearing is that the character of the neighborhood is for many of the other properties that have the same situation, right?
As far as I know, there is one other detached garage in this community. It's
Okay.
10 houses, is my understanding, on less than 2 acres.
Okay.
Some of them look to me as though they have larger lots, and where the existing detached garage is, they certainly had more to work with.
Okay. So you're saying there's 10 properties and only one currently has a detached garage?
I think that's right.
Okay.
Would it block the vision? I don't understand the safety issue between the driveway and the garage. Would it block the vision of them?
Of other people backing up, or?
There is a driveway that's almost directly across the street.
I think she's
However,
saying that they'll just have to
it's
back
not
out
of the
into
same
road.
design, and they can drive directly out without backing out.
Yeah.
The garage does not show.
And as far as
And the creek is-
visibility,
this is
in
the
one
This must be the
direction,
creek.
I don't know how that would be landscaped.
And the house is back
Right
right up
now,
to
it
it.
looks as though it would have some
I bet she's here. I don't know where she is, but she'll probably see it.
Mm-hmm.
blockage
Can't see the
from
creek if you go see it.
trees, shrub,
That's what it is.
just general growth.
Because it does, the creek, the house is right back up to the creek.
Let me see if I understand. The safety issue is touched on by the occupants or their visitors getting in and out. That part is a safety issue. And to a lesser extent, or an equal extent, the people that are driving back and
That's
forth on
right.
Lower Branch Road that could be impacted by someone pulling on. Okay,
Sure.
I see that.
So the driveway's existing already. And do the people have room to turn around now with the driveway the way it is?
They have a have availability and or they got visibility when they're out there, back up the road. Hasn't happened. Well,
Wait, there's just one, that's a good question. Can they, is it a back in and back out now? Or can, I see area that could be gravelled or whatever, that could be a back out, turn around, and then drive out?
It is not.
It cannot?
Yeah. The drawing doesn't show that there's room to turn a car in there.
Not today and not.
Yeah, the garage is sort of irrelevant. I mean, as far as turning
There's still,
and backing out.
that was my question.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I interpret this drawing.
What you're saying is that it's a back in, back out, and the issue is the same whether it's the covered
Yeah.
Right.
structure.
The garage doesn't seem to impound that issue, does it?
No.
Okay.
Not the garage itself.
Right.
That's what we're hearing is on the garage itself.
You know, whether you have the garage, it's at least my understanding, is that if you're the resident here, you're gonna pull into your driveway and you're gonna have to back out, whether the garage is there or not, because there's not room enough to turn around. Is that a fair statement?
Sure, I understand that.
Okay.
May I ask,
Us.
Yeah.
Us.
the concrete drive, is there a concrete drive now, and was it built at the time that the house was built?
There is a concrete drive there.
Okay.
Was it built at the time that the home was built?
And when this was originally improved, the DOT approved this road, and I presume they did, and they could see the size of the lots, so that, as far as a traffic hazard, the official body sanctioned it and said it's not a hazard.
I'm not sure if it would have been required a DOT driveway permit. Chris is saying it wouldn't have, since it was all individual accesses to that road.
Right.
Your construction crews use this driveway, obviously, now, and they're
The
backing.
home's built, done, it's sold, they actually moved in last,
What, did they ever have an issue?
not to our knowledge.
Just for this lady's benefit, we encounter this frequently, that the traffic situation is not ideal. And there's segmentation, it's not in our purview to come down or change that. That's a DOT or a.
I understand that.
agency.
And the sewer is not affected? No. Okay.
Right.
I have a 89-year-old neighbor that lives close by, and she has seen flooding in that whole area before, where all the current houses are built. And then I understand that this has been excluded from the 100-year.
It was filled up, was it not, Chris? So
Yeah.
it's been lifted out of the floodplain, so that shouldn't occur.
Well, as we all know, there's flooding that shouldn't have occurred in this town that has.
Right.
And I have one question for you folks. I don't understand, but is this variance similar to what Ingalls is asking for lighting and all of that out in, on Smoky Park? Do you folks decide the same issues like that?
Yeah, relatively, anything that comes outside of the variance code,
Okay.
which people are asking to go outside of the existing law, if you will.
Uh-huh.
This is a place, if it's a county-related question, this is where it comes
Okay.
for decision.
Right.
Okay.
And I would just point out on that the Ingalls variance that recently took place was within the city of Asheville's
Yeah,
purview.
Yeah, it didn't come before
Okay,
us.
yeah.
But she's talking about matter of principle here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a parallel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think that addresses my concerns, and it sounds as though this project will go through. And I'm just mainly concerned about the safety of all the residents.
There are things, there are solutions that are, again, outside our purview, but there's signage, there's a lot of late model improvements that can be made along that roadway that would enhance the resident safety.
Something to that effect would be helpful because speeding on that road is always an issue.
That's on every road of this county.
Well, yeah.
That's
And
true. Yeah.
the speed limit is
Neighborhood.
35, and so maybe the state could come up with, one of those signs about backing out or
Speed bumps.
slowing down in some way.
Yeah, but see, this is completely out of our purview here.
Right.
This is Department of Transportation.
Okay.
and other entities.
They will help you, though.
Yeah, they're-
Yeah.
Okay,
if you
yeah,
get the
since you
proper
brought
address,
it
but
up,
There may be
Go to
things,
DOT, yeah.
but we deal with building codes here. Matters of variance. So that's, we commiserate and
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but we can't do a thing
Your-
about it.
your
The
community.
shortcut is saying is that we would do is we listen to, we look at if everything's been signed off on, if they've passed erosion, if they've passed DOT, if they have all those things signed off on, our hands are, they're signed off on it. So it sounds like you have more concerns about those type of issues, which, as we're saying, we listen to their decisions. We don't decide for those entities whether something meets requirements or not. Are you following that?
Yes.
So you need to find out from those entities what you could possibly do.
So it would be up to folks like me to contact DOT to see what they could do.
If
Yes.
they might be able to change the speed limit or put up a sign that says hidden driveway or
Right,
something
right.
like that.
So there's a lot of things they can do, but generally it's not, they're supposed to do a good job by their charter, but things that you bring to their attention, they will act on maybe not immediately, but they will.
Uh-huh.
They do appreciate a community person bringing things to them about, we need this, and they know all these late model fixes.
Okay.
All right, do you have anything else?
I think everything has been addressed.
Okay.
And thank you for your time and hearing.
Well, thank you for coming and being interested and
Sure.
trying to hold up your end, as they say. That's good. Is there anyone else to speak for or against this project? All right, I shall close the public hearing at this time. Further comments?
Seems like there's already a garage, so precedent's been set, and the garage doesn't seem to be visibly adding or subtracting from the other issues that were talked about, so.
Okay.
We did give a variance for a tool shed or something along this line,
On this
this
these
same group
properties,
of
yeah.
houses.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah. All right, I would like to hear a motion on the finding of fact and to approve or disapprove this submission.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance.
All right. Follow the script there.
Mr. Chair, based on the evidence presented to this board, including the following exhibits: the petitioner's application, the submitted development plan, the GIS maps, the finding of facts worksheet, I move that this board adopt the following findings of fact. 1 through 5. And 6A, this application does meet the requirements for granting a variance by demonstrating an unnecessary hardship on the owner for the following reasons. A through G.
All right. We have a motion. Did we have a second to that?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the findings of fact. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Is there a motion to approve or disapprove?
Sure.
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve this project. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the minutes show that that's unanimous approval of this submission. All right, thank you.
Those ones you start to feel old. I remember when that was all one.
All right, I guess
Hear an
that's it for
adjournment?
today.
That's fast.
Yeah, everyone gets their sleep for next month.
I like that one.
I will be here
Next month will be a little more well-attended, I would guess.
Oh, I
Yes?
we forgot to let you know that the withdrawn their application.
Seriously?
Really?
I almost forgot until to tell you that.
Wow, that changes our whole month.
Is there anything else on the agenda at this time?
There has been a conditional use.
Is that what, last week?
So there will
Yes,
be
the
one.
cell tower on the.
I mean, last
It hasn't been replaced by a concrete plant by anyone.
Oh,
Okay.
Or 8 other towers.
There were not enough seats.
I'm so glad I wasn't here.
Yeah. They continued
There's
it.
a recycling box.
Oh, that makes life a lot better.